So let's get settled into some semblance of a nice, comfortable meditation posture. Hi, everyone. Sheila, trying again. Sheila couldn't hear me at all this morning. Well done. Welcome back. So I just heard from FPMT this morning. They're going to allow me to fast track my way through the Discovering Buddhism program. So I'll be qualified to teach it. I know, it want to be fun. We have more fun together. She might be getting sick of Buddhism in a nutshell. That's a very sweet course. Okay. All right. So let's just settle into, yes, a nice, comfortable seated position. So for some of you, you might be in your cross-legged seated position. Others might be sitting with the feet down. Let's let Susan in. I just let her in. Where's our bomber? It was Millie, right? Millie the bomber. All right, sorry. I'll settle down now. So just feet flat on the floor if you are sitting at your desk with your feet down about a hip's width apart. And shoulders align with the hips, and just lengthen your spine. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine lengthening your spine. Have your hands just resting very gently in your lap, wherever's comfortable. Lengthen the back of the neck. And breathe. And just relax the scalp, crown of the head, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the cheeks, the temple, the jaw, back of the tongue. Relax the back of the head. Relax your ears, the neck. Allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and all of your limbs. And just allow some softness to come into your body. Some softness to come in your face. And just release all the tension from the day. And then bring, if you're noticing any sound in your environment that might be a little bit distracting, just allow the sounds to be there. So try not to follow with the mind. We automatically send our mind to what we're hearing, what we happen to be smelling. So just allow your mind to be still. And then notice the thoughts that are arising in the mind. And just notice what's arising. Just allow the thoughts to be there. Try not to judge them with the mind. Just notice what's arising. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, the loved ones, the ones you don't like, and then the strangers, remembering they can all change place at any time. This is due to impermanence, karma. And then there's good to always remember that everybody's equal in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So think there is no negativity that can't be purified. So think about that for a moment. This is really impactful for me. Because we have in this mind, judgments about certain actions and not others, and this is bad and that's bad, and I took a vow for this and da-da-da-da. But this is, Lama Yeshe was very much about everything can be purified. So I find this very, very encouraging. And I remember when I first taught this out in prison many, many years ago. And you could see the prisoners were just kind of so relieved to hear that it was actually something that they could do. Because I think, many of the people that were coming to our classes were, they felt, some regret for what they'd done. So think like that. There is no negativity that can't be purified. This kind of puts us all on equal footing. And because this purification process is a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from the present suffering, we don't want any more. So it makes sense to kind of remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. So you can imagine Vajrasattva is sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He doesn't have a single judgmental thought in his mind towards anybody. Just no criticism in his mind. Just accepts you exactly as you're turning up this evening. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, which represents wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar like coming out of a hose quite forcefully from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space. Not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way to do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anurakta Miboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dina Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum. To be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body has been completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is the purification of our speech. Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. Its arcs around, forcefully enters your crown and forces all of the negative speech, this kind of energy of this negative speech, up to the upper parts of the body. And it overflows quite forcefully and disappears into space. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and inappropriate speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me. Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum He. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with the speech. And next is the purification of your mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So the same as when you walk into a room, it's dark, you flick on the switch and the light instantly dispels that darkness. So the same here. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all the attachment and neediness and anger and violence, depression, resentment, bitterness, jealousy, anger, anxieties, all of this, grudges instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And now there's just no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And just imagine Vajrasattva sending light and nectar, and it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe and Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And I think we may have done 35 mantras tonight. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind. So this is where we make a decision to try and refrain from harming. So first of all, rejoice in your efforts and then think about something you'd like to work on, whether it's negative self-talk, whatever it is. I think that's probably our main problem, that and gossiping. So just maybe think before we speak and notice what's going on in our mind. This determination to sort of refrain from these kinds of things is what gives us the strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And then Rinpoche just very quickly, a little bit about emptiness and just thinking that all phenomena are empty, they don't exist from their own side, and the way we see things may not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. Can I see? Hi, everyone. So, strong wish for His Holiness Dalai Lama to live very, very long, be able to continue teaching. So amazing, like he's well into his 80s now. So it's kind of beautiful that he's still offering all these teachings. Kind of amazing. We're so fortunate. And then, of course, for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and I know there's a lot of prayers being done at Bodh for Rinpoche's swift return. And then, of course, for your own teachers, make a strong wish for them to stay healthy and to live long and to be able to continue to sort of do practices and teach with us, for us. Okay, lots of love. Good night. So nice to see you all. Everyone's looking so well, and sleep well. particularly you people on the East Coast. It's bedtime now.